Well, Father Patrick and Father Jacob, who I spoke to, great guys, co-hosts of the Dominican Friars podcast, Godsplaining. Father Patrick serves as editor-in-chief of Atelia.com, and Father Jacob is the director of vocations of the Dominican province of St. Joseph, and they join us today to talk about their book from OSV, St. Dominic's Way of Life. Guys, thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
God, you look like a couple of Dominicans or something.
Oh, and look at that. We have a TV star from Going My Way on, and we have a runner from Marist College. We are ready to go. Well, St. Dominic didn't leave behind large written works, but he inspired many ministries and vocations, including you guys. Tell us a bit about your religious community.
Sure. Yeah. So St. Dominic, great saint of sort of the church's revival in the 13th century. He was born in around 1170 and was educated first by his uncle, who was a priest, and then he became a canon at a cathedral in Spain. So he was a Spaniard. And from that canonry, he was invited to go on a sort of apostolic mission with his bishop, Bishop Diego. And it was that mission that really inspired Dominic, ultimately, years down the road, to found the order of preachers, or more commonly known as the Dominicans. He encountered a group of heretics known as the Albigensians, and St. Dominic's heart was moved to preach the truth of the gospel to those who had fallen away from the faith. And that's really been the foundation of our order since the order was founded in 1216. So some 800 plus years. That's been the mission of the order, to preach the truth, to bring Christ to those who don't know him, and to do so in this form of life, kind of a monastic form of life, living together in our communities, but then going out to preach the gospel. So I know that inspired me, the desire to bring the truth and the gospel to those in our world. And I know I guess I shouldn't assume for Father Patrick his motivations, but I'm assuming that's also what inspired him to want to be a Dominican, a friar preacher as well.
I got to tell you guys, we as diocesan priests, we really have to always be upping our game, because I notice every once in a while there'd be like a guy who might be thinking about the priesthood, but then he gets sucked into that Dominican thing because he's so inspired, and it kills me.
Yeah.
No, I'm always very happy. And speaking of the Dominicans, Patrick, the title of the book, St. Dominic's Way of Life, I think it sums up nicely the influence that Dominic offers to contemporary society and to young men like yourselves. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the basic ways of your life together?
Yeah, that's right. We had this challenge when we talk about St. Dominic, because he doesn't have like a corpus of writings. The most famous Dominican, we think it's kind of funny, but the most famous Dominican isn't St. Dominic. The most famous Dominican, I'd say, is St. Thomas Aquinas, who I know, right? He's in the stained glass there in the Catholic TV chapel, I believe, right? St. Thomas Aquinas is there. So he's one of our heavy hitters, right? But St. Dominic doesn't have a lot of writings like St. Thomas Aquinas does to study. And so we chose the title of the book to show how St. Dominic gives us this really precious gift, this way of life. Okay, so what are the keys? I think one thing that people are facing today is isolation. They're just lonely. They're just alone. And St. Dominic saw that in the Middle Ages. This isn't like a new problem for human society. St. Dominic saw that in the Middle Ages and said, well, what if we got the boys together to do something great? So, Bishop Reed, just like St. Dominic was ready for whatever Bishop Diego was going to throw at him. We're here. Whatever you're ready to throw at us, just like our Dominican forebears. But that community life, that doing a project together, was really at the heart of what St. Dominic's vision was, pursuing God and pursuing the love of God, pursuing the truth, like Father Jacob Bertrand was saying, but as a communal project together.
Mm-hmm. How was it writing this book? You wrote it together. Was it a difficult process to try to figure out what you want to get in and what you don't want to get in? What was it like?
Yeah, for both of us, it's both our first book. So we were coming at it pretty green, so weren't too familiar with, what it looked like. So we basically decided that we would, the book is broken into chapters, as if you look at it, obviously, like a book is, and those different chapters highlight different ways or different forms of what Father Patrick was talking about, of the life or the mode of life that St. Dominic offers us, both as religious and for the laity. Particularly, the audience is the laity, really, to sort of adopt St. Dominic's genius a bit. But we basically decided to write on chapters that we liked or felt most attracted to. So that was really the root of it. But it was a fun project to try to meld our voices and have a cohesive kind of book come together. It had its challenges, but it was fun.
It's a brave thing. You can think something's great, and then, I present some of my lines to Father Jacob Bertrand, and he would just look at me and say, "That's got to go." So it's like a call to humility and fraternal charity, too, I'd say.
Well, guys, thank you so much. Where can people get a copy of the book?
Online at osv.com or in local Catholic bookshops throughout the country.
Okay. Well, again, thank you so much. I'm going to give a little teaser. I love that you use St. Matthew at the very beginning, a passage of St. Matthew. I'm not going to tell them what it is, but I just thought that was great. Hey, thanks again. Always enjoy seeing you guys, and we'll have to have you back on. Write another book.
There you go. Well, thanks so much for having us.
Hey, Merry Christmas, too, and take those silly things out of your ears, will you?
Okay.
Bye now.
Bye.